If spotted lanternflies have already reached your neighborhood, you know exactly why people hate them. They show up on trees, decks, patios, grapevines, fruit trees, fences, cars, and sometimes they act like they own the place. And if you have ever tried to stomp one, you already know they jump like they have been training for it. But the part most people miss is not always the adult bug. It is what they leave behind, where they lay their eggs, how they spread, and why dealing with them the wrong way can cause even more problems. And stay to the end because there is a strange twist in this story. Nature may already be learning how to fight back. So before you ignore the next one you see, here are 7 reasons this spotted bug around your home deserves your attention. Number 1, its pretty wings are the first trick. The first reason you should never ignore this spotted bug is because it does not look like a normal backyard pest at first. And that is part of the problem. The spotted lanternfly can actually look kind of beautiful. It has spotted wings, bold markings, and when the wings open, you can sometimes see that bright red underneath. So it is easy to look at one and think, oh, that's a cool looking moth. Except it is not a harmless little moth stopping by for a garden tour. It is a spotted lanternfly. And this is one of those bugs where the pretty design is doing a lot of public relations work. Because from a distance, it might look interesting. Up close, it still looks interesting. Then it jumps at you like it owes you money, lands on your deck, hangs around your trees, and suddenly the cute little nature moment is over. That is why so many people get caught off guard when they first see one. It does not look like the kind of insect people would warn you about. It looks like something you might take a photo of. But around American homes where they have already spread, people know the truth. This bug can show up in large numbers, cling to trees, crawl over outdoor spaces, and make people realize very quickly that pretty does not always mean harmless. And that is the trick. The spotted lanternfly looks unusual enough to make you pause. But if you ignore it just because it looks pretty, you may miss the bigger warning sign. Because sometimes the most eye-catching bug in the yard is also the one you should be paying attention to. And the reason people around American homes are paying attention is not just because of how it looks. It is because of what it does to the plants it lands on. Number 2, it does not chew your plants. It drains them. This is where the spotted lanternfly becomes more than just an annoying bug with fancy wings, because it does not usually damage plants by chewing big holes in the leaves like a caterpillar. It feeds in a sneakier way. It pushes its mouth parts into the plant and sucks out the sap. That sap is the plant's energy and moisture, moving through its stems, branches, and vines. So when one spotted lanternfly lands on a plant, it may not look like much. But when dozens, hundreds, or even more start feeding in the same area, that plant can become stressed very quickly. And this is why people with grapevines, fruit trees, young trees, and garden plants get so frustrated. The bug is not just sitting there having a little rest. It is drinking from the plant like it found an all-you-can-eat buffet and forgot to leave. Grapevines are one of the big ones people complain about. And if you have ever grown grapes, you already know they take time, patience, pruning, watering, and a little bit of emotional support from the gardener. So seeing a bunch of spotted lanternflies hanging all over them is enough to make anyone start talking to the bugs like, "Excuse me, who invited you?" Now, one lanternfly by itself may not destroy everything. That is important to say. But the problem is how many can show up at once, especially in areas where they are spreading fast. They gather, they feed, they stress plants, and they can make already weak, young, or valuable plants struggle even more. That is why you should not ignore them around American homes and gardens, because this is not just about a pretty bug landing on a tree. It is about what happens when that bug brings friends. And once they start draining the plants, the next problem is what they leave behind. Number 3, the sticky mess can turn your yard disgusting. This might be one of the most hated things about spotted lanternflies, the mess. Because after they feed on plant sap, they leave behind a sugary liquid called honeydew. Now, honeydew sounds almost pleasant. It sounds like something you would put in a smoothie. But when it is coming out of an invasive bug and dripping all over your yard, it is not quite as charming. This sticky waste can land on leaves, branches, patios, decks, outdoor furniture, cars, fences, and anything sitting underneath the infested plant. And if you have ever had a sticky patio, sticky railing, or sticky car because of bugs in the trees, you know exactly how annoying that can be. You touch something outside and suddenly your hand feels like you just shook hands with a melted lollipop. And it does not stop there. That sugary mess can attract other insects too, like ants, wasps, yellow jackets, and flies. So now the spotted lanternflies are not just annoying by themselves. They are basically putting out a free sugar buffet and inviting the rest of the yard over. And then there is the mold problem. That sticky honeydew can lead to black sooty mold growing on surfaces and plants underneath. So what started as a pretty spotted bug on a tree can turn into sticky surfaces, extra insects, ugly black mold, and a yard that suddenly feels a lot less relaxing. This is why people in affected areas get so fed up with them. It is not just that the bug looks strange. It is not even just that it feeds on plants. It is the mess it leaves behind that makes people feel like their outdoor space has been taken over. And the worst part is the sticky mess is only the problem you can see, because the next problem can be hidden in plain sight, stuck to trees, fences, furniture, rocks, cars, and almost anything left outside. Coming up, we get into the hidden eggs, the sneaky way this bug spreads, and the strange twist that nature may already be learning how to fight back. By the way, if you want creepy, surprising, and useful videos that help you understand what is really happening around American homes and gardens, hit the like button and subscribe to Creepwise. Number 4, the egg masses are the part most people miss. This is where the spotted lanternfly becomes sneakier than people realize, because the adult bug is easy to notice. It jumps, it crawls, it lands where you do not want it, and sometimes it appears in numbers that make you feel like your yard has been personally selected for a bug meeting. But the egg masses are different. They do not jump at you. They do not crawl across your deck. They do not flash pretty red wings. They just sit there stuck to a surface looking like a patch of dried mud, and that is why so many people miss them. A spotted lanternfly egg mass can look gray, tan, or muddy, almost like someone smeared a little bit of clay or cement on a tree, fence, rock, outdoor chair, car, or anything else left outside. Very glamorous. Nothing says garden nightmare like a suspicious smear on your patio furniture, but hidden under that muddy-looking coating can be dozens of eggs. So while one adult lanternfly is annoying, one missed egg mass can mean a whole new batch later. And that is the part people often do not think about. You can stomp the adults you see. You can spray a few nymphs. You can knock them off your plants. But if the egg masses are still sitting there through winter, the problem may come right back when they hatch. That is why this bug is not just something to notice in summer when the adults are everywhere. It is something to look for even when the bugs seem gone. Check trees, check fences, check outdoor furniture, check firewood, rocks, garden items, trailers, and anything that has been sitting outside. Because the most important spotted lanternfly warning sign may not look like a bug at all. It may look like a boring little patch of mud, and that boring little patch might be carrying the next wave. Number 5, it can hitchhike out of your yard without you knowing. This is one of the biggest reasons spotted lanternflies keep spreading. They do not need to politely book a flight, pack a suitcase, and tell everyone where they are going. They just hitch a ride. And the worst part is, a lot of the time, people do not even realize they are helping. The adults can cling to cars, trucks, trailers, campers, outdoor equipment, and things being moved from one place to another. The egg masses can be even sneakier because they can be laid on hard outdoor surfaces, not just trees, fences, rocks, firewood, lawn furniture, garden pots, building materials, trailers, cars. Anything left outside can become a free lanternfly taxi. So you might think the problem is only in your yard, but if eggs are stuck to something that gets moved, the problem can travel with it. That is why people in some areas are told to check their vehicles and outdoor items before leaving infested places, because one bug on a car is annoying, but one egg mass on something you move could help start trouble somewhere else. And honestly, that is rude. Most unwanted guests at least knock first. This one just glues its future children to your stuff and lets you do the driving. So if spotted lanternflies are around your home, do not just look at the trees. Look at the things that move, because this bug does not only spread by hopping around your yard. Sometimes it spreads because we accidentally give it a lift. And that is also why the way people try to control them matters, because panic can sometimes create a whole new problem. Number 6, panic control can hurt the wrong creatures. This is where people need to be careful, because once spotted lanternflies show up around your home, it is very easy to go from calm gardener to full backyard action movie. Suddenly you are outside with spray bottles, sticky tape, buckets, vacuums, fly swatters, and a look in your eye that says, I have chosen war. And honestly, if they are covering your grapevines, trees, deck, or patio, it is understandable. But panic control can create a second problem. If you spray general insecticide all over your garden, you may not just hit spotted lanternflies, you may also harm bees, butterflies, ladybugs, lacewings, spiders, praying mantises, and other helpful creatures that are actually doing good work around your home. And that is not what you want. You do not want to fight one invasive pest by wiping out the little garden helpers that were on your side. Sticky bands can also be risky if they are not used properly. Yes, they can catch spotted lanternflies as they climb trees, but if they are left wide open, they can also trap birds, small animals, or helpful insects. That is why some people use protective mesh or a safer trap setup so the target pest gets caught without turning the tree into a nightmare glue wall, because nobody wants to explain to a bird why your tree has become a sticky crime scene. The better approach is targeted control. Scrape egg masses properly, check the items where they hide, follow local advice for your state or county, avoid spraying everything just because you are annoyed, and if you use traps or sprays, use them carefully, because with spotted lanternflies, the goal is not just to react, the goal is to reduce the problem without causing more damage around your home. And that is why the story does not end with panic, because in some places, something interesting may already be starting to happen. Number 7, nature may be fighting back, but new sightings still matter. This is the strange twist in the spotted lanternfly story. When they first explode in an area, it can feel like they are taking over everything. Trees, decks, patios, cars, grapevines, fences, the outside of your house, basically anywhere they can land and make themselves everyone's problem. But in some places where spotted lanternflies have been around for a while, people are starting to notice something different. The numbers may not stay terrifying forever. Birds, spiders, praying mantises, yellow jackets, fungi, and other natural enemies may start figuring out that these bugs are food, which is slightly awkward for the lanternfly. Imagine arriving in a new neighborhood thinking nobody knows what you are, and a few years later, the local wildlife has added you to the menu. That does not mean the problem is gone, and it definitely does not mean you should ignore them. Spotted lanternflies are still invasive, and they can still be a serious problem, especially around grapevines, young plants, fruit trees, and areas where they are newly spreading. But it does mean the story is more complicated than just panic forever. Nature may be catching up in some areas. Researchers are still learning more. People are also looking at things like native milkweed, because some studies and reports suggest spotted lanternflies may feed on it and die from the toxins inside the plant. That could be a very interesting piece of the puzzle. A pretty native plant helping monarch butterflies while possibly causing trouble for an invasive pest. That is the kind of backyard drama nature loves, but it is not a magic button. You still need to watch for egg masses. You still need to protect valuable plants. You still need to be careful with control methods. And if you see spotted lanternflies in an area where they are new, you may need to report it to your local agriculture department or local extension office, because new sightings help people track where they are spreading. So the message is not just stomp every bug and panic. And it is not do nothing and hope for the best either. It is this: pay attention. Know what you are looking at. Control them carefully. And if they are new around your home, do not ignore the warning sign, because with spotted lanternflies, the bug you see today might be part of a much bigger story moving through American homes, gardens, and neighborhoods. And that is why this is one spotted bug you do not want to overlook. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button and subscribe to Creepwise, because this channel makes creepy creatures interesting, useful, and easy to understand. Comment below if spotted lanternflies have reached your area, and click the video on screen now to keep watching.